I couldn't wait. You saw that I was dying. Oh,
ワールドトラベルウィズエンバシーナビゲーターの大場あすかです。今日こちらどこかと思いますか？なんと南アフリカ共和国の大使公邸に来ております。皆様、南アフリカというと何を思い浮かべますか？カルチャーや音楽、ライフスタイルのことをいろいろお伺いしたいと思いますが、今日は大使が出迎えてくださっています。行ってみましょう。Hello.
Wow.
Thank you for inviting us.
Wonderful.
Oh, hello.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you. My
Thank you
name
very much.
is Pascal Omar, the navigator of the program. Thank you very much for inviting us today.
Wonderful. My name is Lama Smart Ngonyama. Ngonyama-san. And yes, and the ambassador of South Africa.
Thank you very much. We are so excited to discover your country today.
Wonderful. You're welcome
Thank
to
you.
the Rainbow Nation. Thank you.
それでは今回もですね、なんと大使が直接お答えくださるということなんですが、いろんな噂を私聞いてきました。フード、そしてライフスタイル、さらには音楽についていろいろ大使に伺いたいと思います。それでは最初はびっくりしますよ皆さん。なんと皆様、南アフリカではですね、いろんな食事をされるようなんですけど、ダチョウ、あるいはワニ、クロコダイル、みんな食べるそうなんですが、本当なんでしょうか？聞いてみたいと思います。Ambassador, I heard about the rumor that in South Africa we often to eat ostrich or crocodile. Is that true or not?
It is true.
It is true.
It is true. We do actually eat a crocodile. Some of us do. And though myself, I've never tasted it. We have a variety of preferences by people in South Africa on the food. And so crocodile is one of them. And ostrich,
Yes.
of course, very healthy.
It's very
And,
healthy.
Very, very healthy because it has got less calories. But on top of that,
Yes.
South Africans eat lamb, they eat beef.
Also.
Beef is what they love most.
あ、そうなん
And
だ。
they do a number of things. They do braai, braai is what is called barbecue.
ババチュ。
Yes, South Africans usually, especially when they are celebrating, like we celebrated the victory of the World Cup.
Oh yes, of course.
And so he did a very big braai and or a barbecue here, where we're roasting and meat. We roasting kop, millie kops, and also cook a stiff porridge.
Stiff porridge.
Stiff porridge, which is millis and powdered, and then we cook it. It becomes very nice. It's like a pudding when you very, very nice. Very nice.
南アフリカではですね、ブラーイというカルチャーがあるんですが、一体何のフードに関することなのは間違いないんですが、どんなことなのか大使に伺いたいと思います。Ambassador, we heard about the culture of braai. I don't know my
Yes,
pronunciation is good with
perfect.
2 A. Okay.
It is perfect.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
So what
braai.
is it?
Braai is what generally is referred to in Europe and maybe in the Western countries as barbecue.
Yes.
And what we do, we actually take beef, maybe lamb, chicken in the main, and boerewors. And boerewors is what is referred to as sausage.
Okay, it's a kind of European sausage.
It's an African sausage. It's a South African one.
Okay,
And,
what's the difference also?
They're slightly different because ours is made in a totally South African style or African style.
Also,
Then plus, and then we braai it. In other words, we roast it and outside. Of course, we're sitting there, we're enjoying our wonderful wine.
yeah. Oh,
And as you know,
yes,
South
of
Africa
course.
has got the best wines in the world.
Yes.
So that's a kind of celebration that we put together and it is called braai.
Okay.
Now we're sitting there, and braai, when we do that braai, Pascal,
Yes.
we talk.
Okay.
We're free. We're reflecting. We talk about dreams. It can also be business.
Yes.
It can also be business. When we're sitting there, we strategize about business. And what kind of business do we need? What is it that we can do to actually lift up our business? So that's braai.
Okay.
It's when you think, you're reflecting informally, because there are no ties. We're wearing shorts.
It's more the shirt and t-shirt, I
Yes,
guess.
and a bit enjoyable having our
nice wine.
Yeah, nice wine. So the body is loose.
なるほど、すごい。南アフリカのカルチャーというか、そういうリラックスした時だからこそ、スポーツやあるいはビジネスに関してどうしたらいいかってことを常にこう前に向かってみんなで話し合うっていうのってなんかとっても素敵だなって思いました。次はですね、大使にライフスタイルについて伺いたいと思うんですが、皆さんレインボーネーションっていう言葉を聞いたことあるでしょうか。なんと噂では南アフリカには公用語がですよ、公用語がなんと10言語もあるということなので、それが本当なのかどうか伺いたいと思います。Ambassador, the next rumor is about lifestyle because I heard about the Rainbow Nation that in your country you have more than 10 official languages. Is that true or not?
Pascal, it is definitely true.
Definitely true. 本当だって。
Definitely true. We have 11 official languages, and they are enshrined in the Constitution of South Africa. And anybody can be able to speak the language anywhere that he or she feels like, whether the person is in parliament or whether the person is doing shopping or the person is in the court of law, can speak any of these languages.
11 languages.
11 languages, because it is the responsibility of the institution concerned, if it's in parliament or maybe, and it is in the court of law, and for them to have the translators or interpreters, and to maybe translate it into English, because English is the commonly spoken and the language, and maybe in court or in parliament, and that would be understood by the majority of the people. So, and those 11 official languages are very, very important to South Africans. Of course, there is another one that it's called the San and the Khoi, and the language which was spoken by the indigenous people, the what are referred to as Bushman people.
Yes,
and a very, very important language that, and, because the people concerned are actually indigenous people of Africa. And but the government is still working in trying to develop the language. And already we have radio stations that are actually promoting the language. And the idea, and Pascal, is to, as you've rightly pointed out, to the fact that we are a rainbow nation and at peace with itself. For us to be able to get that peace, and as South Africa, it's we have to ensure that each and every person in the country feels recognized, feels part and parcel of the South African society. What is more that you can actually say if and you cannot recognize and the language of a person? And so recognizing the language of a person instills dignity to the person, that I am part and parcel of this. I am part and parcel of the national identity of this country. And so that's why these official languages are very important. And also, you've said that rainbow nation. For us to be a rainbow nation, it means that you have different colors. And those different colors, they form an embodiment of this beautiful and a thing, and that is called a rainbow.
Yes.
It is this phenomenon of rainbow that South Africans are seeking, and to be one and united, and in their cultures, in their language, and as human beings.
Yes.
Irrespective of the color of the skin of an individual, or maybe the texture of the hair, or even whatever structure of your body, we are one. And so Rainbow Nation means that. And these languages depict that.
Yes. Ambassador, we talk about the peace of your country for all of the world. And of course, we cannot forget about your great reader of Nelson Mandela. And in your country, I guess he makes so many beautiful things for us, for the people of this planet. But for South African people, how much is he important for your country?
Well, Nelson Mandela is regarded as the father and of the nation now. It's not a title that is given to people just like that. It's a title that is earned by an individual because of the honesty and the determination and the sacrifice and of the person and the love and of that person and for his own people. And even as he said some time ago when he was standing in front of the courts of law in the country, that he is prepared to die and to ensure that there is no subjugation or oppression and of one group of people by the other. And he said that if it means for him to lose his life, he's prepared to do that, and because to save and people, and can never be that. And even when he came back, he even continued to say that when he came back from Robben Island after 27 years arrested, and he came back and he called for that, continued and in that journey of seeking for this respect for human beings and respect for the life and of people, and respecting and human beings irrespective of the culture, the creed, the language, and the race of an individual. He continued in that. Here is a person that has done so much for us, pulled us together, and even made us to forget the past. And I mean, now I talk about and the painful things that happened. He said that let bygones be bygones. And but as we do that, we must always remember what happened, but not with the aim of revenging, but with the aim of saying, and it must never happen again. And we must always think about that when I look at Pascal, I'm looking at a decent person, full of dignity, and I must respect at all times.
So touching. そうね、私たち一人一人がこういうふうに本当に真剣に考えていくっていうのは本当に大切なんだなってこうくって胸に突き刺さりました。それではここでですね、大使と一緒に、ドラケンスバーグ少年合唱団の映像を見たいと思います。What is they are singing? What kind of music? It's a traditional song?
Yes, it's Nguni language. It's sang in both Xhosa and Zulu. It's a song which actually is asking a question.
A question.
Firstly, they say they are making a statement. We have not seen Nelson Mandela. He is currently located. And they say, when are we going to reach the place where Nelson Mandela is located? It's a song of appealing and protest and longing
Yes.
to see Nelson Mandela. It's a very deep song.
ね、美しい声で the voice is so like an angel.
Beautiful young people, and like it's a song that generally people were singing because they were longing for Nelson Mandela to be released.
なるほど。
It's a song which people and they feel that it's an inspiration
大事な曲なんですね。
about this individual
Yes.
who was put maybe in the dungeon or he was put in an island called Robben Island. Not only himself and with many others, and but it became the symbol because he was incarcerated for life to stay there. He was meant to stay there for life, and he was prepared to stay there for life. And but his physique, his psychology, and his forthrightness and determination, his commitment, and his ideas and his aim never changed.
He's still alive in our heart.
And he was very strong. I mean, you are incarcerated in a place, Pascal, and you are told you are going to stay there for life. But still, you don't change. Those that incarcerate you, they go back to you to say that, are you prepared to change? We can release you if you can do this, you can do this, or condemn this and that, or do away with this call of total liberation of people. And he said that, let that be far away from me to agree to that. I will never agree to that. I am prepared to stay here for life or even die here. And then you have young people singing these songs and creatively saying, we have not seen Nelson Mandela.
Yes, you're right.
It's a generation. And that generation had not seen Nelson Mandela. They've heard about him, they've read about him. And finally, Nelson Mandela got released, finally.
Yes.
And people see this man. And it confirms their imagination that truly this is a leader. And hence, the father of the nation. I'm not sure. And if we're very few of such people.
Yes.
We're very few of such people who can actually put up that kind of a journey of life. And so now you have these young people, they're very young.
Yes,
but
very strong.
Very strong, and they are still harvesting from Nelson Mandela's spirit.
Yes. And their future is over there.
And the future is there with them. They are the lifeblood. They are actually the blood of the nation.
Yes.
Because if the blood doesn't circulate, it means the body of the nation is dead, and themselves, they are that lifeblood. And if they continue, and in that spirit, and we believe that there's hope in South Africa.
Yeah. In the world.
In the world.
Yes.
Thank you very much. in the world, because now Nelson
Yes.
Mandela is no more
Yeah.
regarded as a South African and a leader. He's a world person.
Yes.
He belongs to the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Hence the July 18th, which is the which is the World Nelson Mandela Day, where everybody is called to do service to the people.
Yes.
And truly, you're right, Pascal is no more, and South African, and a leader is a leader of the world.
Yes.
Because of his values and spirit, which resonates with the majority of the people all over the world. And they actually depict everything around him, and what they actually themselves, as people of the world, Pascal and others and all over, and want in the world.
Yes.
And it's reflected out of the history of this individual.
Yes. 番組恒例といいますか、もはや鉄板コーナーとなってまいりました。各大使館にその国おすすめのあるいは伝統のスイーツを紹介していただくコーナーです。今日はどんな南アフリカのスイーツ、全く想像できませんが、何が出てくるでしょうか。
Well, this is Malva pudding.
Malva pudding.
It's called Malva pudding. It is so wonderful, beautiful, tasty South African dessert. I don't know how it's made. My wife is going to talk to you about it. And Squash, if you can explain it.
It is not clear how the name came about, the name Malva. Some say it is called after a lady that was called Malva. Others say it comes from the Malvania wine. Others say it originates from the Afrikaans word which says Malva lekker, which means marshmallow.
Oh.
Malva pudding has its origin from the Dutch in the 1600s when they came to as colonists in Africa. So they wanted, I guess, to have something that is going to make them feel like in Europe. Because Madiba has talked about the rainbow nation. So everybody in South Africa now has taken a Malva pudding as a pudding for each and every home, because you are like not South African if you haven't tasted Malva pudding.
Okay.
It's very easy to make.
So,
Takes about 45 minutes to bake.
okay.
I would say 20 minutes preparation time. And once you put in the oven, 45 minutes bakes. And it's normally enjoyed with ice cream, served hot. Served hot with ice cream, or custard, or whipped cream.
I'm so curious to know about the taste of this
Ever.
wonderful. May I try?
Yes.
Please.
いろんなネーションが、いきますよ。いきますよ。あ、柔らかい。アイスクリームとカスタード。すごく甘すぎず、アイスクリームとカスタードのね、で本当に優しい家庭の味。
That's the mixture of the
culture and
of the culture
and the history also.
and the history and the embracing of different cultures, and you get it within this Malva pudding. And not only in the Malva pudding, also when we do our braai, and there's a mixture of cultures even there, and but this depicts, because it's as you know, Pascal, that the dessert you get it at the end of the meal. It must now remain as the last taste in you, and which gives you the nation inside you.
Thank you
through
for
the
this.
Malva.
Yes, Malva pudding. Thank you very much.
おいしいおいしい。
ありがとうございました。Thank you very much. 今日は南アフリカ共和国大使公邸にて大使と大使ご夫人にお話を伺いましたが、皆様いかがでしたか？南アフリカの人たちが世界あるいは自国の平和のために考えているかということを強く感じました。Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much today to inviting us and to let us discover your beautiful country. And please give a message for our viewers.
Well, thank you very much, Pascal, for this opportunity. It's a great opportunity. I want to say thank you so much because the main issue that I would like us to pick up is peace. Peace is what will bring us together in the world, Pascal. And peace is what makes us happy. Where there is no peace, there is no happiness. Where there's no peace, it's only tears and blood. And where there is no peace, there is total chaos. And that's what we'd like us to remember about your visit to this embassy, because it's an embassy that belongs to the culture of Ubuntu. Ubuntu, and in the African language means I am because you are. I cannot exist all by myself without you. So that's a message that we'd like to leave you.
Thank you.
We survive in this as a nation, and because of other nations, we are calling for peace. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. ありがとうございました。またぜひ。Thank you very much. また。
さよなら。
さよなら。
バイバイ。
南アフリカ共和国編、今回の視聴者プレゼントはこちら、素敵なノートブックやそしてそのものペンや旅行行く時に便利なタグなどがセットになっています。応募方法は SNS を送ってくださった中から抽選で4名の方にプレゼントしたいと思います。詳しくは概要欄をご覧ください。どしどし応募してくださいね。